Hey everybody, welcome back to another patch update for the Dungeon Beneath. I literally just did 103 and now we're at 104, so let's take a look at it real quick, see what we got. So in this update they're focusing on balance issues, made Abaddon a little easier. I think that they did because I got farther in a recent playthrough than I ever had before, but still have not beaten him. And the most underused allies and toughest enemies were addressed. So first of all, lizard folk. If you've been watching my channel, you know I don't really use lizard folk. So the biggest update is to the lizard folk. The original death and sacrifice focused lizard folk felt underwhelming and overlapped too much with summon compositions. Sure. So we've redesigned lizard folk, giving them their own lizard folk type and unique scheme word. So here we have a fighter, another fighter, and a mage. If this character kills an enemy, they attack again. That's not bad. Gains 1 armor for each allied lizard folk, but that's a scheme. Give +2 power as a scheme to others. So scheme keyword triggers when the character does not attack. So this is that thing that I'm not sure. It's going to take a lot of playtesting to see if players like this and if it's useful. The Dungeon Beneath has it has this thing where really the most important thing is your damage. When you get to Abaddon, you have to be able to hang for a little bit of time, which I'm having problems with, but for most part, the most important thing is damage. It's not that scheme is bad, it's just that I don't think in a game where you really can't heal or block damage that much without spending tons of gold and getting some lucky rolls, I don't know if skipping a turn, like the mage back only give +2 damage, so you need to put him in the front, or I don't know if there's like you need to put him in the front for the first turn, you move him to the back turn, and then his scheme will. So let's look at it logically. We'll just take the mage, whose scheme is he gives an extra 2 power to all other allied lizard folk, so they will hit 2 points harder the next turn and the power is gone. So turn 1, if I want to unlock this, put him in the front row. He has 4 hit points at level 3. I don't know if he's going to survive. I move him to... Since he does not attack, because he's in the front row, he gives all other allies +2 hit. I then move him to the back the second turn. So turn 1 he does nothing, he gives everybody else in the party that's a Lizardman +2 power. Turn 2... he's exhausted. He's also not doing anything, so he gives another +2 power. So it's not terrible, but he only has 4 hit points. So it's not that good either, because he has to... He only has speed of 2. So he's not really doing... He's got to survive an entire round of attacks, and if you've played the game, you know, late to mid-game... +2 power is not bad if you have at least 2 lizard folks. That's a 4-point swing in exchange for the 1 attack. But the 4 hit points means it's going to be really hard to... I don't know how good this is going to be. And Prelator is the brand new unit to steamroll the weakers because he just keeps hitting. The Hypogen is reworked to provide him as a build, which is a 1-hit point attack, 12 hit point guy with 6 speed, which is pretty damn decent. And Emergen is now the powerful buff. And Tau the Exiled is also being updated to work with lizard folk. So a lizard folk party is viable. I just don't know how good it's going to be, guys. If I ever get the option, maybe I'll play test it just to see what we can do. But I just don't know. Because +1 armor for each allied lizard folk. I guess that he gains it. But armor fades at the end of your turn. It does not carry over unless you have a certain item that says it stays. I don't even know if that item exists. I know there's one, the Roman Centurion dude has an ability where his armor does not leave, and that's pretty good, but... And, I mean, this is a good ability. A 3 attack, 8/8 guy who... But I just don't think scheme is... It's cool that they're working on it. And it's definitely going to be viable. I just don't think it'll ever be more than a middle comp. So, unfortunately. But, you know what? I'll try to playtest it. And we'll see. We can only try and we can only see. We have new enemies. So I did run before, and you'll hear in the run, and when it finally comes up, that oh my god, I was shocked. But 3 new slime-based encounters have been added. This is the restorative ooze, the elemental hero. He only has 5 hit points, but he has 2 attack. And whenever he... Oh my god, there's a Minotaur right there. Is that a new hero? I have not seen him. Also, there's 3 doors. I have not seen 3 doors yet. But basically, whenever any character dies, he regains health. So you have to wear him down or nuke him down really quickly. These smaller slime guys, they're not very strong. When they die, they each turn into a 1 hit point, 1 attack slime. So these 2 become 4, and you have to do tons of stuff. We have new loot. Mystery potions. The witch can now sell a mystery potion that transforms into a random item on purchase. I think I've seen that. It's not bad. Potion of greater versatility. Now, mages also have a potion that lets them use equipment from any class. Especially some of the more combat-focused mages can really get some cool stuff now. I would like to, as a further update to the store, I would like to see more than just 4. Also, 99 gold, no. This might just be like a debug playtest, but no. You never have a 99 gold. I would really love to see... that is probably the counterfeit coins, but I'd really love to see the shops carry 6 items just to offer more variety. My kingdom for some damage last run. You'll hear it. I hated it. I really could have used some more damage. The cursed amulet, which is 2 attack, but deals 1 damage when you attack. It's not terrible, especially if you can pair it up with characters or items that can heal. And 2 for 1 is pretty damn good in this game. Some of them have 1 for 1, but basically you're getting more than you're giving up, so not so bad. Counterfeit coins or a new artifact that will reduce the cost of buying characters by 2 gold. Not bad, but limited, because usually you want to have your party set before you're about halfway through the second part of the dungeon, so, The Hunter is redesigned and now deals 1 damage to the lowest health enemy after attacking. And, we have a developer note. While the Hunter was a powerful unit in certain circumstances, they weren't seeing much playing. I've never used a Hunter. I thought it was dumb. In testing, we found this change can make them a little more natural fit for builds that need a little crowd control and Doom-focused builds. I haven't gotten to play with this yet. I love it so much. It's such a good idea. Because, again, the Hunter was a really cool... He was an average unit. I'm not trying to be mean to Hunter fans. I'm just letting you know. He was an average unit. But he could. I'm pretty sure, even though he had a bow, he could be used front and back. So he had some versatility. You can move him around with whatever comp you wanted. He hit decently. He had decent HP. You can give him equipment. But he was just an average unit, and his ability was, like, not good. Was it summon a dove or something? I don't remember. I wish I would have said what he used to do as his ability, but he just wasn't as good. Now, whenever he hits something, he then follows up by doing 1 damage to the lowest health. This is not only going to help... This not only gives him a lot more damage. This does something that I think the game really does need more, especially if they add new modes and ways to play where you can have even more characters and even larger encounters. And that is spreading the damage around. You don't want any one lane. You know, you have a top... You pretend this is your top, your middle... Here, I just have this picture. Your top lane, your middle lane, your bottom lane. You don't want one lane to have all the damage. You have to, especially with bosses and Abaddon, you need to be able to nuke down things that get summoned. So I love the idea that no matter where I put him, he can potentially hit whichever one of these 6 squares is beneficial. He's going to be huge on a Doom build. Pair him up with 1 or 2 characters who get Doom, and you're going to be able to just start stacking that bonus, and I love it so much. Also, level 1 Rangers will no longer be found in the upper dungeon, but level 2 and 3 can still be found. There were too many summoning, synergizing characters in the upper, making summon builds a natural choice for more runs. In this update and future updates, we aim to better balance them. I would like to see longer dungeon runs, and I would like more characters, and I would like to also see just everybody can be recruited starting level 1. I know they don't have that on everything yet. I would really like to see it, though. Because I would like to be able to have the opportunity to build for whatever comp I just happen to stumble into. Other changes are you can now sell items in treasure chest rooms. I've done it. It's cool. Units bounce a little slower on higher fast forward. They have like ×5 now, and it's just like going to trigger a seizure in you. So the fact that they move a little slower so you can follow it better is better. So Abaddon is now easier on New Game Minus. Abaddon being too difficult is the most common piece of feedback we've gotten, so perhaps this issue needs context. We chose to make Abaddon very hard because we want to celebrate amazing runs. Without a challenging end boss, a perfect run feels like a pretty good run. They both end up at the same place. In our view, the true test of run isn't whether you beat Abaddon, but how long you can survive. However, we realize that not everyone might feel this way, so we've decided to make Abaddon substantially easier on... I don't know how substantially easier he was. I've only gotten there once since they did this update, and I don't know if that was because he was easier, or I had a good build, or both had something. But let's talk about this for just 1 second. If the game was longer, I would be more inclined to agree. I don't disagree, but I would agree harder. I would more agree. Is more agree English? I don't know. I would more agree with this statement if the game was longer. But right now, you can knock out a run in about 30 to 45 minutes. And there's a limit to how... Your hero can't really gain much power. Your character's max out at level 3. Even on a weird run, you're going to have probably at least 2 or 3 level 3 characters. You're going to have a lot of items. So it's not that long of a game. It's okay to make the character very hard. Definitely on New Game Plus. But the thing is that, you know, when you can't really... And the game might have more modes and more stuff released, and who knows how it's going to change and evolve as the more people come give it a chance. Hopefully more of you that might watch this video but have never played will give it a chance. And will learn from my many, many, many mistakes. I would definitely recommend that you start on New Game Minus, just so that you can at least get to Abaddon, as well as get a feel for how he fights. Because again, you should build for Abaddon. You should not build for the... And again, that's due to the length of the game, as well as the massive jump in difficulty between Abaddon and the game. And the rest of the game. Which is good and bad, but you're not trying to beat the dungeon, you're trying to beat Abaddon. So really, I kind of agree with this, but the game... A single run is so short that I don't know if I fully agree with this. The Hand of Abaddon now only gains attack if an allied monster dies. Previously, the ability triggered whenever any ally died, which was a hard counter to the Void Summoner. So that was probably just, you know, you can summon monsters on the opponent's side to do damage stuff. But you were empowering the Hand of Abaddon, who's already pretty damn hard. So that's probably a good change. Fierce Boss no longer has cursed urns. That makes it a little easier. Cyprian Simuli now has 10 HP down from 12, little bounce. Massive Orbs now only summon 3 Wandering Orbs on death, previously would fill the board. That is a huge debuff to that particular encounter. Because what usually happens is the orb boss would have his 2 mass orbs and a couple of the little guys, and you would focus down through, but the guys move whenever they fight, so eventually you would kill them all. Basically, you were killing like at least a dozen enemies probably before the boss, which the sheer amount of damage even the 1 damage guys could put out, if you're taking 4 or 5 hits from 1 damage, it's 4 or 5 hit points. It is a little easier because they randomly hit any of your heroes, but then the boss is empowered for every single one on the field, and he's going to hit whoever's in front of him like a truck. So this is probably a good balance change. Lycanthropes now only have 6 HP, down from 8. So really, it looks like they're focused a little more on enemy balance changes in the mid-dungeons and trying to make the damage like ramp up a little more instead of just shooting up. And I agree with that. It should be. Biter Tooth is now easier on New Game and up. Abyss Guardian is now easier on New Game. Again, just trying to make the mid-game more of a gentle slope going up instead of a, oh my god, you're now on a rocket ship, you better fix it. The Veniac Simuli encounter now has more enemies. I think I'm seeing that in the Orb Progenitor encounter now has more enemies. Probably the opposite. Probably every comp was blazing through them. And so they're just like, well, we need to fix that. Mind Reaver now has 50 hit points, which is a huge 25% bonus from its previous total, and attacks twice. That's a lot. That's a lot. That's a lot. He's going to be really dangerous. I'm going to look forward to trying to fight him. And then we had some bug fixes. Treasure chest bonus objective now only occurs if there's a room to spawn a treasure chest. I had not seen that bug, but I'm sure it occurred. The game now starts even if there's an error recovering the same file. That is something that a couple people have been having trouble with on the message boards, is that if your save file got corrupted, the game could not start. Which is, now it's at least, if it crashes, you're like, well, I have to do a new... That's not so bad, because right now the game is short, so it sucks if your save gets corrupted, but at least you're only losing about 20 minutes of fun. So it's not bad. The Ember Spirit will no longer infinitely loop if killed by a Hope trigger, thanks to JSTOWE4. That's a... and numerous other small fixes. That's a cool... that's a funny one. Yeah, that's like completely random, just probably did not realize that when you pull level A, function B accidentally breaks game C or something. But guys, that is the balance changes for this. Thank you guys so much for walking through it. New enemies are cool, new loot is cool, unit updates are cool. Enemy balance changes, maybe. If overall it seems easier, I don't know how much easier this is. Bug fixes is always good. The main point of the update is Lizard Folk. He is usable in any party now. But this whole scheme thing, I don't... There are times when, like, you'll be paralyzed and you're automatically going to get it. But again, +1 armor, not very good. Because you lose the armor at the end of the turn. And +2 power is okay, but you have to figure out a way for the mage to do it without losing all 4 of his hit points. And that is... if you can do it, then you can be really... I'm so wanting to try that out now, guys. I really do. It's possible. It's possible. It's possible. Because he only does 1 damage. So you're not taking... even if you only give +2 power to another Lizard Folk, you're giving up 1 for 2. If you have 2 or 3, you're getting huge returns. And because he's only 1 damage, having him do the cha-cha back and forth between the front and the back line is not that bad. Here's the... and... you know, there are ways. You could give him the mage item that spawns with a shield at the beginning of battle. I believe that's one of them. There are 1 or 2 other passive items that can... you wouldn't want to boost his damage. Is there an item? There's not an item that makes the character inexhaustible, unfortunately. Because that would just really... well, that would break his scheme, so no, that's not good. We need him to not do anything. You could leave him in the front row all the time, but that 4 hit points tells me that he's not going to last long. So you probably... you'd have to make him a lot more tanky. It's doable. I might have to try that. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next update, because I'm addicted to this game.